Hi yogis, Alana here, and thank you for tuning in to my channel. I'm so excited to share this video with you. It's going to be an amazing restorative / yin yoga class focused on releasing stress and anxiety. It's a very grounding practice, and yin has helped me so much with my anxiety that this is really a class and a topic that is near and dear to my heart. So I really hope you enjoy it. I hope you can find some time to just kind of let your body go. I know a lot of times when we're stressed and anxious, our body is just running on that kind of high level and high energy, and we're just exhausted after a long day of dealing with that. So this practice is designed to be really grounding, to help you just kind of melt into your body, release some of that stress and tension, and to just feel overall better and more relaxed. So find a great place in your house where you can kind of release a little bit, maybe away from the kids or anything else going on, and we'll go ahead and get started. You will want a blanket and possibly a block tonight. So your blanket can be any type of blanket. It doesn't have to be the traditional yoga blanket, but we're gonna start laying on it. So whatever size or type of blanket you have, this is how you're gonna wanna fold it. So if my blanket's full length, I'm going to fold it this way, over one more, and then like this. So it's gonna be a long rectangle here. And we're gonna place this towards the middle of our mat. We're gonna want our bellies on it. So we're gonna come down, laying on the blanket. You can adjust it to be right at your stomach. So right above your hips and probably at the bottom of your rib cage. And we're going to begin to work down over the blanket. And you can adjust this as you go. If it needs to be maybe not as high, you can do that as well. And we're going to either come the whole way down on your mat, or you can stack your forearms and just rest your head. So we're going to start out here and just begin to breathe. So this might feel a little awkward at first. You might feel that pressure. But when it comes to anxiety, our gut is our second brain, and there's a lot of things that go into our gut health that kind of affects anxiety and stresses. So think of this as a little mini massage. As we breathe into it, it's kind of letting our belly just relax into it. It's kind of a little extra sense of it's okay to release here. So as you breathe, you may notice just kind of releasing into it. You know, day to day, we kind of like suck in our bellies or maybe try to squeeze into those jeans. This is a spot where we can just kind of let that go and kind of enjoy a little bit of release in our stomachs. And if you're noticing any pressure in your lower back here, that might be an indication that your blanket is a little too high. You might have a little too much of a back bend here. So we want to be nice and relaxed. So you can adjust that as is. So just breathing in here, kind of noticing how that is for you. And just releasing your day, releasing anything that you're thinking of, anything that's bothering you. is your time. So as we continue to breathe here, I want you to bring to your mind 3 things you're grateful for right now in this moment. I like to use gratitude practices when it comes to stress and anxiety because those are usually triggered by looking into the future and having all of these things on our to-do list. But in reality, whenever we turn inward and realize all of the things we have, all of the things we're grateful for, a lot of that tends to disappear. So as we think of some amazing things in our lives, maybe family, friends, jobs, whatever it might be, it usually brings a sense of happiness, completeness, wholeness. So think of those 3 things. And as we move through our practice, it might remind you to go back to those things we're grateful for. And if you're not already, begin to find a nice rhythm with your breath here, maybe bringing it a little deeper, maybe feeling a little more pressure as we breathe in and feel our bellies expand a little more into the blanket. Just find a nice calming breath. We're going to keep our upper bodies exactly where they are, but we're going to begin to bring the right knee about to a 90-degree angle coming out from our hip. So it's almost like a half frog pose here, very gentle, and we're just going to kind of sink into this easy hip opener here. A lot of us kind of sleep like this sometimes, so this might feel pretty natural for you. And just sink in here. Just letting the body surrender here, feeling maybe some calmness come over you. I am grateful. And just let that right leg come back to meet the left, and we'll switch sides. So left knee comes out from the hip, and just relax into it. Nice, gentle hip opener. Maybe you begin to really notice that change in your abdomen. Maybe your belly is really soft. Maybe it doesn't feel as much pressure as it did when you first started. Making sure that your leg is nice and relaxed. You're not trying to kind of hold it up or tense it at all. Be here for a couple more breaths. And let that left leg come back to meet the right. And if you're not there already, begin to move your forearms stacked one on top of the other and let the forehead come to the top of your forearms. So we're going to work into a little gentle back bend here. So this is our first step. So notice how this feels for you. If your back is pretty sensitive, you can always come back to a more comfortable position, just laying down, maybe with the blanket underneath you. So if you want to go a little deeper, you can come into Sphinx pose. You can always stay here though. So if you're coming into Sphinx, elbows are coming right under the shoulders, forearms coming right out from the elbows, hands outstretched in front of you. Shoulders come away from the ears, and just kind of relax your upper body as much as possible. Your head can kind of move about how it needs to, but you should feel that added pressure into the belly. Just a few breaths here, just really expanding the chest, opening the lungs. You can always bring a block under your head as well to make this a little more restorative. Continuing to keep that breath nice and steady. And then just allow the body to come the whole way back down. Maybe switch cheeks if one of the cheeks was on the mat before. We're very mindfully going to move into a child's pose. So you can just push up with your upper body, maybe come to a table and work your way into child's pose. So toes are going to touch, knees are going to come wide. If you like to have a more restorative child's pose, you can grab your blanket or a bolster to put under your chest to support you a little bit. Hands are coming out in front of you, head is coming down to the mat, or maybe a block depending on how you're feeling tonight. So when you get here, begin to roll your third eye onto the mat side to side. And then find center and just begin to breathe. This is one of my favorite calming and grounding poses. I always come into this to kind of feel a little more connected with the ground, with my breath, with my body. So just try to sink in here. So as we sink into this pose, you might notice the hips opening slightly as well. We'll be working on some deeper hip work here as we move through this, just to release anything we might be storing in there. All right, so from here, we're going to begin to walk our hands back towards our knees, and we're just going to find a seat. So nice, easy seated pose, one ankle in front of the other. And find a nice tall spine, really root in with those sits bones. And we're going to first start with some alternate nostril breathing, some pranayama. This is one of the best exercises you can do to really relax and kind of restore the balance in our bodies. You should feel immediate kind of calmness. And if you've never done it before, I'll walk you through it really quickly before we get started. I'll also walk you through it as we move. So we're gonna hold one nostril. So I'm gonna start with my left, and then I'm gonna begin to breathe in through my right. And then I'm gonna switch, holding the right nostril, breathing out the left. And then I'll breathe in through the left. Close the left nostril, breathe out the right. All right, so We'll do it together for a few rounds. Our breaths might be a little different, so just follow along as best as you can. There's a couple hand positions that are suggested, but it really doesn't matter. Sometimes I'll just use my thumb and my pointer finger. Other times I'll use my pinky. So it's really not that serious. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, do a few rounds, and if you need to stop at any point, just stop. All right, so we'll start by putting our thumb on that left nostril or whatever finger feels good, and breathe in through the right. Close the right, breathe out the left. Breathe in through the left. Close the left nostril, breathe out the right. Breathe in through the right. Close the right, breathe out left. In through the left. Out through the right. And through the right. Out through the left. Couple more. And through the left. Out through the right. And right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Last one, into the right. Out through the left. In through the left. Out through the right. You can let the hands come away from the nose. Breathe in through both nostrils. Exhale out the mouth. Awesome. So take a couple more breaths here. Maybe notice if you can take a deeper breath through both nostrils opposed to before. And we'll begin to do some more movement. So we're gonna bring the arms out wide. We're gonna open our chest here. So really lift the chest forward. Arms can come away from you. Let the head drop back. We're gonna exhale and wrap our arms around us, round the spine. Chin can come to the chest. Just release. Find some gratitude for yourself as you give yourself a little hug here. And inhale, open up back. Big stretch, reach behind you. And exhale, switch, so opposite hand on the top of the shoulder this time, probably the awkward hand, and round into it. And open back up, one more time out wide. And just let the hands come back to the knees. And we'll do a few seated cat and cows here to really open that chest a little bit more. So same movement as a tabletop cat and cow, but we're just gonna be seated. So it's super simple. We're just gonna inhale, let the chest come high, let the head drop back. And we're gonna round the spine, let the chin come into the chest. So really similar movement to that hug. Inhale, come up. Nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Exhale, round. And one more, inhaling up. Exhale, rounding. And inhale, coming up. So we tend to hold a lot of tension, especially stress and anxiety related into our hips and our chest, our shoulders, and our neck. So That's why we're kind of doing the targeted movements we're doing. So now we'll just let the shoulders release a little bit, and just gonna lift the shoulders up towards the ears and back down. So inhale the shoulders up, really squeeze here, and exhale, drop them down. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, down. And one more. Inhale up. Exhale, down. You can shake up the arms if you need to. And now we'll work on our neck a little bit. So we're just going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder. You can extend the left arm out. If you want to bring the right hand to the head for a little extra pressure, you can do that as well. And just breathe. Feel this nice stretch. One more breath here. And inhale, come back to center, and we'll switch sides. So left ear to left shoulder, right arm can come out, left hand can come to the head. Only pushing as what feels good to you, as what's comfortable. Inhale, coming back up. Now we'll do front to back. So really find a nice tall spine, and we're just gonna let the chin drop to the chest. If you want to take the hands for a little extra pressure, you can do that as well. One more nice deep breath. Inhale, come back to center, nice tall spine. We're going to drop the head back. So same thing, only is going as far as what feels good. Really opening that throat chakra. If you've been having some issues kind of talking clearly, this may help clear some of that energy out. Inhale, come back out. You need to kind of roll the shoulders out. You can do that now. But we're just going to turn onto our mats, bringing the soles of the feet together. Knees are coming out, and we're going to roll onto our backs. So Supta Baddha Konasana, you can prop yourself up with some blocks or blankets if your hips are feeling really tight. And we're just going to lay back. Put one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And feel that breath again. Feel your belly moving. Really connect here. Sink in. Allow your body to just release and relax. Returning back to those things you're grateful for tonight. Allowing yourself to really receive and enjoy that abundance you have in your life. Few more breaths here. You can let the hands come to the knees, close them together, and then maybe find some windshield wipers to release some of that tension. All right, so bring the knees into the chest, give them a hug here. Bring the nose up to meet the knees, find a little ball. If you want to rock forward and backwards, you can. And then we're going to let the left foot come down to the mat, and we're going to cross our right ankle over the thigh. So we're going to come into a reclined pigeon pose here. So this might be step one for you, depending on how tight your hips are. So you can stay here. If not, if you need a little extra, we're going to wrap the hands around the left thigh and pull back towards us. So you can almost put that right elbow into the knee if you want to wing it out and get a little deeper. And we're just going to sink in here. So try to relax into it. Feel this hip open. So just sinking into our hips. We hold a lot of tension in this area, a lot of emotion. So if any of that comes up for you, just return back to the breath. Kind of let your thoughts go in and out. Don't put any judgment on them. If you need to, just come back to that gratitude. Still breathing nice and deep here, really expanding our chest. And then begin to uncross the leg, bring the knees together, and we're going to drop them over toward the left side. So nice, easy supine twist here. You can gaze towards or away from the knees. You can also grab any props you need to maybe prop up knees or be a little more comfortable and restorative. This is just a nice little twist on that belly again, giving it lots of love tonight. And bring the knees back to center. You can bring the feet onto the ground and just do some windshield wipers. Maybe let go of that hip a little bit. And we'll set up for that left leg. So right knee is up towards the sky. Cross the ankle over the left. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Stay here or pull back. Sinking into this hip. begin to uncross the leg, bring the knees together, drop them over to the right. Find that supine twist, prop yourself up and sink in. Enjoy kind of the ease. Maybe bringing your mind back to that gratitude. Bring the knees back into the chest, and this time let the feet come up towards the sky. Coming into Waterfall Pose, super great pose for helping you to go to sleep, or helping you kind of ground down, really get relaxed in your body. Hands can be wherever feels good, maybe a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly, maybe just beside you. The legs should be pretty heavy here, nice bend in the knees, just relaxed. You can also do this on a wall if you want to hang out here for a few minutes. It's always an awesome idea. And we'll gently just begin to drop one leg at a time, coming into your Shavasana. So letting the whole body be long. And we're going to begin to squeeze the whole body. So tense up, squeeze fists, squeeze feet, face. Take a nice big inhale and exhale, release it. And just relax into your mat. And begin to deepen the breath, bringing little movements into your body, maybe wiggling fingers or toes. And bring the knees back into the chest and let the knees fall over to the right side, finding a fetal position. Cradle your head in your arms. And take this opportunity to notice how you feel, maybe super relaxed, maybe calm. And know you can always come back to this through your yoga practice. And begin to push up to a nice comfortable seat. Bring your hands to heart center in prayer. Maybe bringing gratitude back to your thoughts here as we end. I'm so grateful that you tuned into my video, and I hope this really helped you become a little more relaxed and comfortable in your body tonight. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, wherever you might be in the world. And please leave me any feedback or comments you have on the video, and I hope to teach you again. Namaste.